Hey y'all, before we start this vlog, I wanted to announce to you that if you have not seen, I am doing a virtual online sourdough course, and I've dropped the link, and so you can now register. I've been talking about it for the last 2 to 3 weeks, but I want to make sure that if you didn't know, now you know that I am doing an online sourdough course. It's going to be, not course, workshop. It is going to be September the 29th on a Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. and I'm going to need all those 2 hours. It's going to be me live doing live instruction, but I'm actually going to be doing demonstrations. I will be in my kitchen showing you with my own hands so that you can see for yourself and doing the demonstrations. Now, I know sometimes this content can be better when you are doing it in person, but obviously I can't get to all of you guys in person. So I feel like this was the best way for me to do it. So if you've been interested in learning about sourdough, go to the link in my bio where it says events page and go ahead and sign up for the sourdough online workshop. In the workshop, again, it's going to be me live for 2 hours taking you through, and this is sourdough baking 101. Okay, 101. That means it is for beginners. I'm going to be talking about how to create a sourdough starter. I'm going to talk about how to maintain it, how to feed it, and how to bake with it. So it is very beginner friendly. You don't have to have any knowledge whatsoever. Also, you're going to get a dehydrated or freeze-dried starter from me. So even though I'm going to teach you how to create your own, when you purchase the workshop, I am going to send you 10 grams of freeze-dried sourdough starter, so that way you can start immediately, and within, I would say, 4 to 5 days, you will have an active starter and you'll be ready to bake. So all that part is included in the cost. Also, there is going to be a digital workbook that you're going to get that's going to be a guide so that you have something to reference to when it's time, when the video is over and I'm not in your kitchen with you. You have something to reference with all of the terminology. You'll have recipes, you'll have descriptions, you'll have everything that you need to bake with sourdough. And if you attended my class that I did last month about how to create a fall garden, if not, talk to the people who did, and they'll tell you that when I say I'm giving you a digital workbook, it is going to be nice, it's going to be good, and it's going to be comprehensive. Okay, so definitely go to the link in my bio, sign up for the sourdough class. I'll be talking more about it over the next couple of weeks, but I want to make sure that if you haven't seen it, if you didn't know, now you know. Now let's go watch this vlog. Hey y'all, today it's a push through kind of day. That means I'm tired, but I'm out here anyway because I got to get some stuff done. Welcome to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Barbara. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that you stick around and enjoy this video. Today's video is all about starting to plant the fall crops. That is right. So you guys, if you've been here for the last few episodes, you've seen we have been trying to get ready piece by piece by piece. And for those that come and watch me all the time, welcome to you as well. But if you're new, I live in Zone 7B in the state of Tennessee. And it is the first week of September at the time of this video. And we are trying to get all things ready for the fall. And it was so funny because I was listening to a YouTube video on my way home today, and they were talking about the same thing. You know, they're in my zone. They were talking about the same thing because we're all kind of doing the same thing, right? If you're a gardener in my area, you are saying goodbye to summer and hello to fall, and with that comes a whole new set of work. But she was talking about how she was letting her garden go just because she has to divert her attention to fall. And I'm in the high tunnel right now, but my space outside, y'all, I feel like I'm not going to say slowly. I feel like I'm fastly, is that a word? That I am really letting it go because I'm just not focused out there. I told you if I don't harvest another thing, I am good. I got what I need. We have been beyond blessed abundantly from the garden this summer. So it is definitely neglected, and the piece behind my house, it's real neglected. I don't even think I've watered it today. The part behind our house that we have 5 raised beds, it's the only place that's not on drip. The intention is to put it on drip. We have bought the stuff. It's just a matter of time and priority of getting it done. But I haven't even watered back there this week because I'm like, I'm not going to say I don't care. Don't come for me because it's my garden. But I don't have the mental energy, the physical energy and bandwidth to keep trying to maintain all three spaces in this perfect orbit, as well as get ready for the fall garden. So my attention is getting ready for the fall garden, and that's what we're going to take it one more step further today. I also am going to be out of town, and by the time you see this video, I may already be out of town or on my way back, who knows. But excuse me, I don't know where it'll be in the rotation, but I'm gonna be out of town for almost like a week and a half. And so I have this immense, I'm gonna call it pressure, to get things in the ground and done. Not that necessarily I couldn't do it at the end of September. I could. However, I need to get it done now because my seedlings say I need to get it done now. I need to get it done for many reasons. One, I'm just ready for them to be out of my house and I'm tired of tending to them. Second, they are overgrown. They need to be in the ground. And then three, I just got a whole bunch of other stuff planned going on. So I just need this stuff to kind of be in sequence. You feel me? You feel me? Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to go and try to accomplish today, because we are pushing all the way through. Okay, so today we're going to start doing our raised beds. I have my, hold on. Okay, so I have my crop plan here. I've made some adjustments, but you can basically see it here. If you're new here, your girl is all about organization, efficiency, and intentionality. That is what I talk about on this channel, because we don't want to just garden, we want to garden well. And to me, in order to garden well, you have to be organized, efficient, and intentional. So that is what I talk about all the time on this channel. So yes, I have a crop plan, and yes, it's typed up, and yes, it is the spaces that's in my tunnel. It's all the things, right? Because that's how my brain works, and that's how I keep it all together. So I have my crop plan out here. So I can reference what goes where. And today I'm just going to try to get this one tray done. I have a tray of 72. I picked this tray because it is one of the ones that we started together when we started our fall crops. There's a video when you and I started our seeds together. And this is the one tray that I never up potted. Remember, I up potted all the rest of them, but this one tray did not get up potted. And so I'm starting with that one, because when I say they like, get me out of here, they like, get me out of here. So we're going to get them out of here, okay? Let me show you what the seedlings are looking like. Ta-da! Ta-da! Look, look, look. Okay, they're looking good, but they like, get me out of here, sis. Get me out of here, okay? So that's what we're going to do. This is the tray of 72. It is a mixture of, let's see, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, and even some snapdragons are in here. So let me refer back to my crop plan, and I'm going to start placing these things where they go. Now, the other thing is that some of these don't go in the raised beds. I think the Brussels sprouts I have to go out there, but I'm not really ready for that space yet. So we may have to switch some more things on our crop plan. We may have to do it. Let's just see where we are. Let's get going. Let's get started. Okay guys, it's the next day. So we got half of that tray planted. So about 36 plants out, and mostly it was cabbage, lettuce, and Brussels sprouts is what we got planted. I had only brought that one tray down here, and in my mind I thought I was going to plant the whole tray, but half of that tray was stuff that was going to go in ground and not in the raised beds, and I'm trying to focus on the raised beds first. But in between now and then, I did do inventory and revise my crop plan some. And so the inventory, again, nothing fancy, just pen and paper. I went through every tray that I have, which I have a total of 8 trays of plant starts. I went through every tray. I separated by what was the first succession versus the second succession. So remember, we did 2 different plantings together. So that way I know what's ready to go now versus what has some time to still percolate before it's ready to go out. And then I got the totals. The most of the highest number of crops I have are kale and collards. I have like 60 plus of each of those. that is definitely not by accident, that is by intention, because y'all know I love collard greens, and you know it takes a lot to make a lot, and we always freeze them again enough for the next, until the next season. So right now I think I have in my freezer probably 2 to 3 bags of collard greens, and I may only have like 2 more bags of kale. I've been trying to and that's from last year's garden. I've been trying to, you know, slowly go through it. But y'all, that's right, it's perfect, because I will have kale literally in the next 45 days that I can take and eat fresh, that I can freeze and do all, put in smoothies, whatever the thing. So again, I talk about on this channel all the time, organization, intentionality, and efficiency. Because I am intentional, organized, and efficient by God's grace, I'm able to grow food for my family, grow a crop that we love to eat, and grow enough for the whole season. And it's working out perfectly. And so that's why I encourage you to take the time on the front end to be intentional about what you're going to plant, how much you're going to plant. And again, do I get it right all the time? No, I don't. But I'm striving to get better and better each time. So again, when I did my totals, it wasn't a surprise like, oh my goodness, how do I have 60 something collards? That wasn't a surprise. Now, I didn't know the number. It could have been 45 or 50. Like, I didn't know the number, but it doesn't surprise me that that's what I have the most of, right? Does that make sense? Because I know those are the things that we eat the most of, are collard greens and kale, and then of course certainly cabbage. I have, how many cabbages do I have? It looks like I have 12 on this ready for the second succession, but I've already planted, I want to say, at least probably 12 cabbages, and I got like, I don't know, 20 something more over there. So I got plenty of cabbages, and I will do another succession of cabbages. Obviously with cabbages, they're gonna all come to harvest at the same time when you plant that many, and I can't eat that many cabbages. And I tried last year with the whole preserving the cabbage. We made the freezer slaw. When I went to go reconstitute it, I didn't like it. I'm not doing that again. I did do shredded cabbage and put in the freezer. That worked out okay, but I didn't find many ways to preserve the cabbage. And no, I don't like sauerkraut, because I know that's what you're gonna type in the comments. I don't like that. My point is that if I was even being more smart and more intentional, I probably would have I probably did cabbage in smaller quantities each succession, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. We'll sell it. And then we sell a lot of kale, a lot of spinach, a lot of lettuce, all the things during the fall. So I'll stop yapping. Let's get to it. And I think I'm going to focus on the 2 beds that I started, so I can say that those are complete. Check it off my list, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so in this bed, what we have are Brussels sprouts. My Brussels sprouts did really good in terms of germination. And so if all of this goes well, we're going to have a lot of Brussels sprouts. So to go from 0 to a lot, I'm claiming it right now, because I have not been successful with Brussels sprouts. Okay, so the other things that are going to go in this bed is I'm going to plant this also with spinach and then bunching onions in between. Those are all 3 compatible or companion plants, the Brussels, the spinach, and the onions. So I have, let's see, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 Brussels sprouts just right here alone. And you know, Brussels sprouts are going to go tall, and they take a long time. So they're going to be in this bed for a while, because they can take up to 100 days. Now, if you're doing Brussels sprouts so if you're going to do Brussels sprouts, technically, if you were doing them outside, you should have started your seeds back in July, because they have like 110 maturity to harvest. Obviously, you can buy transplants if you have some in your local area. But because I'm in a high tunnel, I did not start mine in July. I started mine in August with you guys. But because I have season extension, it's not going to matter, because I'll still be able to get a harvest. So I'm doing spinach in here, and this spinach was on our first succession. But you know, spinach takes a long time to germinate. It can take up to 14 days to germinate, and it grows really, really slow. So even though it's small and tiny, we're still going to put it in here and hope for the best. And this variety right here is Lavewa, Lavewa. See, that one broke off. We'll see if we can keep it. And then I have a bloom, not a Bloomsdale, but I have another kind that is called Butter butterfly. That's a new variety to me as well. So we're gonna put this in here, and I can do them close together and make baby spinach, or I can do them a little bit further apart. I'm doing them like 6 inches, almost like I do lettuce. But they look good. They're just not as big as some of the other stuff. I had the hardest time growing spinach as well, but for the past 2 years, I got it. So this will be my 3rd year. Hopefully, if this goes well, I can say I know how to grow spinach. Okay, I think I can do another row right here is what I can do. Okay, so I have the spinach in there. I have the Brussels. The next are the onions. Now, y'all, look at my onion. These are bunching onions. Smell just like onions. And this variety is Guardsman, which is from Johnny's. Now, I have not been successful at bunching onions. Now, I can grow bulb onions. Bunching onions have not been successful, so I'm trying yet again because I want some. And these germinated quite nice. I have been able to get them to germinate, but they have never looked this good. So we're going to try it yet again and put them in the ground. But if you have tips on the bunching onions, let me know. But let's get these in the ground, and then y'all, this bed is going to be complete. And then I'm going to show you the trick, the key, the magic of what I do that I started doing last year for the first time that help preserve my fall crops. You don't want to miss it. Let me get these in the ground. Okay, guys, I can say that one bed is completely done. We have Brussels sprouts, we have our onions, and we have our spinach, and then we have our faithful eucalyptus that's been in there. So I've watered everything in. Of course, you guys saw when we amended it and put compost in it, so it is ready to go. But there's one step that I'm going to do that I want to show you in case you were not following me last year. So I did this for the first time last year, and it was a game changer. So one of the things that I always struggled with when I did my fall crops is I would put them out around this time of the year, and within a week or two, they would be eaten by cabbage worms, bugs that would be lacy, have holes in them, and just did not look good whatsoever. So one of the things that I do now is I actually cover all of my fall crops with insect netting until they get to the stage where they're about to flower, because the insect netting, I can still water, they can still breathe, but it protects them from the animals and stuff, and any type of flying insects, cabbage worms and things like that may want to get in. Now, obviously, you got to make sure that you don't have anything in before you cover them up, but it works out great. Now, last year I still had a little bit of damage because some things were getting in and my stuff was not as tight as it needed to be, but overall it did extremely well and it worked. I just do this until the weather cools off enough to where the insects go away and the pest pressure decreases. Then I will remove the insect netting and then just let them be out in the open. But I want to show you this. So I buy these stainless steel hoops that's just like this. You can also use 9-gauge wire that you can get at Tractor Supply, Home Depot, and all that. I've heard that, but I could never find it myself. So I went and bought these hoops, and it was an investment. And the company that I bought them from last year is now out of business. So I can't drop you a link. Now, I did buy some from another company this year, and I will see if I like those. But right now, I'm just using the ones I had last year. I bought these, and again, I'll be able to use these year after year after year after year. This is what they call a stainless steel wireless hoop. So let me just show you how it works. So basically, I take one end, stick it in the ground, take the other end, stick it in the ground, just like that. It's going to create a hoop, and then I'm going to space them out probably every couple of feet. So it'll probably be three on this side, and then I'll do the same thing on that side, because this one is not long enough to go across the whole bed. And then I'll lay my insect cover over that. So this is almost creating like what you call a low tunnel. So if you were outside or gardening outside, you could do the exact same thing. If you came to my planting a fall garden class, you already know this. You ahead of the class, because I talked about this in the fall gardening class, and I gave them links of where to get the stuff from. I gave them all the deets and all the details. Now, if you're saying, well, I missed the class, if you wanted to buy the replay and you still want to get it, you can go to my website and get the replay and the workbook that has all the supplies and has everything you need to know about fall gardening. The link is, just go to our store, livingfoodsfarm.com. So I'm going to do this all down the bed, and then I'll bring you back when we put the insect netting on. Okay guys, you can see that I have the hoops. I have 3 on each side, and I don't know that we're going to be able to show you this 100% because I can't find my clips. But basically it's a clip that looks like this. You can use this kind of, like I think you call it maybe a micro clamp or something like that. We started off with some bigger ones, but it was too hard to press open, like you can see. And this is thicker, more heavy duty, but it was too hard to open. We had some even bigger than that. But I had the hardest time finding clips until last year. I found some that worked really, really well. They're like a stainless steel, smaller mini clip. And I've ordered some, but they're going to be here tomorrow. So we're going to pray that my stuff is okay, which is, it was over in here for 2 nights and it's been okay. So I know that the Lord will provide. But let me show you what I can, because basically you just have to secure it. You can secure it with sandbags. You can secure it with these type of clips, or if you have some other ingenious way to do it, do that. But I'm going to use insect cover. So I have insect cover and frost cover that we used on last year. So the end of the season, we folded it up and put it in totes. But I also bought some new ones because last year we ran out. We did not ran out. Yeah, we didn't have enough to cover everything. We had to just use whatever we could. So each year I just invest and get more and more. But again, this is an investment, but you can use it year after year after year. So I'm just going to show you one of the new ones that I got. This, I get these from Tarps America, T-A-R-P-S. And this is Agribon. Johnny's also sells it. I think Grower Solution sells it. But Agribon is the type of material. Again, this was all in my class. I went through this. I show you everything that I do. But this is Agribon 19. So it comes in 15, 19, 30, and 60. And those numbers represent the weight of the fabric. So this is just like a woven fabric. Now, people have said you can use tulle. I've never used tulle, but that is a cheaper way to go. But the tulle to me is going to tear much, much easier. This is just a nice material. And like I said, the numbers represent the weight of it. So the higher the number, the higher the weight. So I would use like a 60 when it's really, really cold, because that's more frost cover, versus a 15 or a 19 is insect cover because it's thinner. But you can see, you can kind of see they're not getting through that at all. So basically we would lay this over, I think, and the plants are still able to breathe. Okay, so you get the gist of basically. Now, is it the most beautiful thing? No, but my plants are going to be protected. Now, the issue I have in this bed is that the eucalyptus is so tall that it won't go over. Okay, my husband found one more clip. And I don't really care about the eucalyptus because they're not going to eat that. But I want to make sure that even though we have the eucalyptus excluded, I want to make sure they can't get in under that. So we're going to figure out a way to kind of secure it. Probably put something heavy on it, my husband said, to secure it so where it kind of stays down and doesn't flap open. But we're going to pray that this is going to work until we can figure that out. But that's basically, that's all it is. And I will, like I said, I can keep them like this. I can raise it up to check on them, all the things. They can grow, they can still get sun, they can still get water. but they are protected. Now we're gonna move on to this bed right here that we started. And this bed is lettuce and red cabbage. And I'm gonna do something, a new crop in this bed that I've never done before. So in this bed are our carrots. Remember we had basil here, and then the right hand side was empty, so we did our carrots there. We are still going to do carrots in the rest of this bed, but we're also going to interplant with radish. But let's first get our carrots in the ground. Okay, y'all, we've gotten 3 beds completely done and another half of one, so we only have 2.5 beds left. But I've done all I'm going to do on this video and today. So this is the carrot bed. So what I ended up doing was I did plant 1 more row of carrots, 1.5 more rows of carrots, and then I interplanted with radish. Let's go back. A year or so ago, I came on here and told you I didn't like radish. Y'all told me to try again and to try it roasted and to see if I would like it, that it tastes better. And you were right. I did like it. I really, really did like it. But I had only grew a little bit. So this year I'm doing more radish, but I'm doing a brand new kind. I'm doing daikon radish. I saw that on another homesteader, so it gets really, really big. It's not like your traditional round bulb radish. So I cannot wait to try, because I'm assuming it'll be just as good roasted as well. So I interplanted with some daikon radish. The variety is Bravo, and then the rest of this bed is carrots. So I'm going to water that stuff in, and then also I started planting this bed here. Also, I started planting this bed here behind me. This is bok choy, so I have 8 bok choy in here. This is the bed that had the herbs. All of this stuff is going to stay. I have my echinacea back there. I have some lavender and rosemary. That'll stay throughout the winter, and then we'll fill up the rest of the bed with veggies. So, and you can see that I have some yellowing on the bok choy. It just needs to get in the ground. That's all that's wrong with it. It's sturdy, it's hardy, it's good to go. It just needed some more space. And so I feel confident that once it gets watered, fertilized, it'll be just fine. And bok choy is, again, another new crop that I had never tasted, never done before. I did not grow up eating it, and I started growing it in my garden. I think last year was the first time, and fell in love with it. I love it. I use it for ramen, for stir fries, and all those things. I also love it steamed. It's just really good and good for you. That's another benefit of being able to grow your own food. You're able to try out things that maybe you've never had, or you had when you were growing up, or you had from the grocery store and it's trash, and you can grow it and make it taste better. That's the benefit of growing your food. But y'all, I feel quite accomplished. We have 3.5 beds done. We only have 2.5 left with the raised beds, and then the raised bed fall garden will be complete. So I'll catch you on the next video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.